Wembo, Brás, Tanzunga, Mara, Bukmuk, Mara, Wembo, Brás, 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 Mara. Banya the comare, Bopujane, Bopujane. Banya the comare, Bopujane, Bopujane. Banya the comare, Bopujane, Bopujane. I'd like to invite Uncle Robert Stewart up to do our Welcome to Country.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Robert Stewart. I was born in La Perouse, which is a suburb of eastern Sydney. My mother's people, Gilberts, Malone, Butlers and Llewellyns, are Dharawal, Wadi Wadi and Darug. My paternal grandfather's people, Stewarts, are Ewan from the far south coast area, and my paternal grandmother's people, Donovans, are Dungutty from the mid-north coast area. Firstly, I would like to pay my respect to elders, past, present and emerging, and like to also acknowledge Aboriginal people that are here today. It is exciting to see everyone here today as we come together on Dharawal Wadi Wadi country to acknowledge, honour and celebrate the graduation of many students here at the University of Wollongong. Our ancestors roamed up and down this coastline for thousands of years, and I pay my respect to our ancestral elders for their spirits still walk this land. Our mob has the oldest living culture in the world. We are saltwater people, and many of our traditional foods come from the sea. Mullet fish is like our medicine, and abalone, pippies and damper are food that is special to us. Our people were the healers, doctors, nurses, lawmakers, nurturers and our teachers. As we gather here today, may we all be reminded of our rich, continuous Aboriginal culture. We are here with our songs, our land, our ceremonies, music and identity. Today for Aboriginal people it is a special day because we are here to acknowledge and give our utmost respect to Auntie Joyce Donovan as the recipient of an honorary doctorate bestowed upon her by the University of Wollongong. Auntie Joyce, as she is known affectionately in the Illawarra and many other areas in New South Wales, has worked tirelessly for Aboriginal people to enable them to have access to equality of service from Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal agencies, and strongly advocates to ensure their voices is being heard within the community. There have been many occasions where Auntie Joyce has led marches to stand up for the rights of women and children, victims of child and adult sexual abuse and domestic violence against women as part of her social justice campaigning for the victims to be heard and not just a statistic. As well as her many years working in health, Auntie Joyce was instrumental in assisting others in establishing the Illawarra Aboriginal Medical Centre. Auntie Joyce, who is my mother's sister, comes from a strong line of Aboriginal women, her mother, sister, grandmother and great-grandmother. Studied and worked hard to achieve the recognition and respect from Aboriginal and non-Aboriginal people in New South Wales. Auntie Joyce has worked with government agencies and ministers to pave the way for better outcomes for our people. Also, Auntie Joyce has worked alongside and worked with non-Indigenous people at the university and has strong working relationships with the Aboriginal staff and students at Wollongong. It is because of her, Auntie Joyce, that we can. On behalf of the Dharawal Wadi people, I welcome you to this land. Stay safe and enjoy today's ceremonies. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Robert, for that wonderful welcome to country this morning. Welcome, everyone. My name is Professor David Currow. I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President for Research and Sustainable Futures at the University of Wollongong. I'm thrilled to be your Master of Ceremonies for this morning's proceedings. I would like to acknowledge our Indigenous Strategy Unit and our local Aboriginal community. Their leadership has brought to life a vision for an inclusive, reconciled and united Australia through this graduation ceremony, where we recognise that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples are the knowledge holders of country. Thank you for joining us today on this special occasion. Before we begin proceedings, I just ask that you turn your mobile phone to silent. The university is extremely proud of our graduates, and we're immensely excited to celebrate your achievements in person today. We also congratulate family and friends who have supported our graduates on their long and at times difficult journey. We know our graduates have been through a lot. You have endured many aspects of the COVID pandemic and have triumphed. And so we're here today to congratulate the graduates on their many achievements and to acknowledge their dedication and commitment to the goals, aspirations to make our community and the world a better place. Please join me in congratulating our graduates. Please now stand for an instrumental version of the Australian National Anthem. Please be seated. I would now like to introduce the Deputy Chancellor, one of the university's highest officials, Mr. Robert Ryan, to give the congratulatory address.
Graduates, family and friends, welcome to your graduation ceremony. My name is Robert Ryan. I'm the Deputy Chancellor of the University of Wollongong, and I am honoured to be here with you today. It is truly one of the highlights of my role to witness students celebrate this great milestone. I'd also like to thank the Indigenous Strategy team and members of our Aboriginal community for leading our procession and smoking ceremony today. I pay my respects to Aboriginal elders, past and present, and acknowledge their continued spiritual and cultural connection to the lands on which the University of Wollongong campuses are located. As part of today's celebration, we bring focus to the themes of the artwork Cultural Healing by artists Auntie Lorraine Brown and Auntie Narelle Thomas from the Kumadichi United Aboriginal Corporation. You will see this artwork all around you on your graduation booklets, as part of the stage design, and in various other contexts. We hope to continue learning from and building a deeper understanding of this cultural wisdom. Looking out to the marvellous sea of gowns, I'd like to begin by congratulating each and every one of our graduating students. You are the reason we do what we do. Indeed, it's a special occasion for all of us, but it is especially significant for you, our graduates. Many of our graduates are the first in their family to graduate from university. This is a tremendous achievement. Today's events are the culmination of years of hard work, personal sacrifice, and commitment. I hope you feel a deep sense of pride and will take this moment to reflect on your achievements and how far you have come. Of course, this time of celebration is important, and I hope you will soak up every minute of it. But I also want to emphasise that this is not a conclusion. Indeed, this is a beginning. May each of you capture these feelings of pride, energy, and passion and take them with you into your future. Graduation is also an opportunity to thank all those who made your achievements possible. Your family, your friends, your mentors, and your teachers. This is a special moment for them too, and I'm sure they are extremely proud of how far you have come. Today, we acknowledge the important role they have played and invite them to share in your success. I know that some of these important people are able to join you today, so treasure today. As a cohort, you share in a unique educational experience in an extremely challenging time in our history. So much has changed in recent years, and like many industries, universities have had to innovate rapidly, particularly in teaching and learning. The strength and determination you have shown to get here will stay with you and hold you in good stead for many years to come. The completion of your studies at UOW places you among the most employable graduates in Australia and indeed the world. The success of our graduates is one of the many reasons our university enjoys such a strong reputation and is ranked among the top 1% of universities globally, while aiming higher every day. With UOW students at our locations in Dubai, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and soon India, and partner institutions in China and Singapore, I hope that you feel proud to be a part of a university with an outstanding reputation that spans the globe. The transformation you're making today, from student to graduate, is a significant opportunity to establish your priorities, take stock, and focus on your future. At the same time, leveraging all that you have learned both academically and about life during your time at UOW. Alongside the many changes that will happen in your lives following graduation, today also marks a new type of connection with this university, one I hope will be lifelong, through further study or as a proud ambassador. Joining our vibrant global alumni community of more than 185,000 alumni from almost 200 different countries. You are connected by the shared experience of studying at the University of Wollongong. As much as is possible, I encourage you to maintain this connection with the university and your fellow graduates. The relationships you have formed during your time here will be invaluable in the years to come. The university's commitment to a better future has shaped our direction and impact since our inception. In those early days, developing the Illawarra and its industries focused our intent, and our pioneering spirit was born. From these origins, we have grown to be a diverse and inclusive civic university, working to solve global challenges and promoting harmony and social cohesion. Our success is seen through our wonderful graduates, our people and valued partnerships, locally, regionally, and internationally. Together we are working to solve the biggest questions facing society and striving toward a better quality of life for future generations. This theme has been increasing in prominence in light of the Australian Universities Accord. In essence, the Accord emphasises the pivotal role that universities play in advancing the prospects of graduates and enriching the vitality of communities. UOW is proud to contribute to the review process of the Accord. We have underlined the importance of actively championing lifelong education and addressing the diverse needs of communities. This ceremony is public recognition of your commitment and your achievement. It has been our absolute pleasure and privilege to have witnessed and played an integral role in your journey. As you begin your next chapter, what will you take with you from this place and this time? I'm confident that your experiences have been shaped, not the person you are today and the career you are about to embark upon. As graduates, you are now well placed to forge your own future, to create your own story with curiosity, empathy, and compassion. It is time now to celebrate. Celebrate your hard work and success, and know that the world is at your feet. As you set forth in your careers, remember to always be bold, courageous, and strong, and stay true to your beliefs. Beyond today's celebrations, I encourage you to set your sights high and work towards something you believe in, because when you find your purpose, you will find your place. Again, my best wishes and congratulations to each of our graduates. May you have a very happy and memorable graduation day with loved ones. Thank you for making us proud.
Thank you, Deputy Chancellor. It is now my great pleasure to commence the presentation of the graduates. I now introduce the Executive Dean, Senior Professor Sue Bennett, to present the graduates to the Deputy Chancellor for the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities. Professor Bennett.
Thank you, Professor Currow. It's my great pleasure to be celebrating with our graduates today. We're very proud of what you've achieved, and I wish to convey my personal congratulations to you all. Will the graduates who are to be presented with undergraduate and postgraduate awards from the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities please stand? Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the graduates to receive awards from the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I confirm your admission to the awards for which you have qualified.
Graduates, please be seated.
Parul Banga. Louise Walker. Biar Ajang Deng Biar. Holly Antonia Bowen. Irene DeCosta. Talia Davis. Sophia Panayota Davlouras. Cleopatra Efstratio. Jacob Gregory Fox. Kiara Susan Jesshope. Harrison Lee. Dane Jonathan Lovell. Renju Peter. Sophia Claire Cohen Picker. Julia Reed. Georgia Elizabeth Rudd. Amy Louise Thompson. Caleb Unsworth. Rachel White. Mitchell William Brown. Jasmine Jody Cruz Greenwood. Abby Lee Desmond. Sophia Rose Dragoni. Eric Martin Gasparich. Shira Lee Maria Hartnett. Cello Maeve Mann. Benjamin Waters. Melina Thompson. Haley Allison Bannerman. Jordan Arlengi. Carrie Eve Derrick. Paris Portia Fabian Carter. Ethan Craig Fishburn. Benjamin Highfield. Julia Huang. Julia Jane Johnson. Leung Mei Po. Kendall Louis. Kristen Louise Overall. Tegan Jade Sereno. Jamie Shu. Benjamin Luke Sigmund. Shalise Thompson. Emily Sarah Wallace. Phoebe Jane Wells. Alexia Alana Zurutis. James Burns. Samantha May Dorigato. Emma Louise Monteleone. Andrea Campos Moreira. Amelia Jane Patterson. Tamara Joy Robertson. Jack Daniel Appleby. Harriet Nakir Utimana. Zoe Walsh. Jackson E. Andrews. Brooke Bickett. Tennille Dredge. Samantha Jane Fletcher. Paris Suzanne Holm. Antonin Rodkowski. Julia Taylor. Nicholas Chibangu. Jessie Flett. Laura Ann Gordon. Zara Rose Taylor. Yasemin Hussein. Darcy Drain. Braden DeBono. Michael Scott George. Esmeralda Gergis. Zina Salah Hassan. Nishi Shihara Leonarachi. Anton John Lopatz. Lachlan Robert Parker. Lucia Bolin Edwards Villalta. Dylan Holmes. Ellen O'Shea. Casey Jane Weston. Titulua Ikenatio. Dylan Parks. Jeremy Eager. Grace O'Day. Jamin Waters. Matthew David McDonald Kearns. Crystal Lee Jacqueline McMurray. Chloe Angela Begbie. Claire Dunning. Josh Polton. Tamika Andrews. Tyler Charles Armstrong. Lisa Ann Beatty. Lachlan Andrew Crawford. Bailey James Cable. Elizabeth Kate Laidlaw. Katrina Suzanne Lambert. Phoenix Deyua Lebreton. Bianca Manjin. Kaya Miller. Aaron Dunshin Tang. Lily Truman Harris. Grace Elizabeth Borton. Douglas Hoffman. Eloise Jane Meyer. Nicholas Carmelo Pacini. Paula Iziebe Okegun. Janaea June Pender. Joanna Grace Elderington. Louis Stephen Romeko. Chloe Jessica Moon. Cameron Brenchley. Christopher Mark Devery. Chelsea Rose McQuilty. Cooper Douglas Smith. Alexis Barnes. Varsha Chandra. Sarah Maximovic. Jamie Lee Maskell. Kate Alexandra Mateer. Anastasia Papantonis. Georgia Molly Roff. Amy Scanlon. Kyra Tao. Josephine Valentinetti. Roz Matthews. Ulumuyiwa Olalekan Adetumbi. Jacinta Buck. Ellie Margaret McComish. Tracy Mkwananzi. Maria Alexandra Stethakis. Samuel David Estelle. Kathleen Irene Martin. TJ Allman. Catherine Elizabeth Bounds. Taylor Fenning. Shannon Marie Lucas. Paris Jada Tolti. Richard Scott Holzer. Dominic Robinson. Alice Grace Judith Knight. Natasha Hopman. Tristan Naumovsky. Jim Shaw. Casey Lydia Evans. Naomi Susan Gordon Anderson. Hannah Cuddy. Gemma Vanzanella. Nicole Bowdler. Olivia Ann Marie Primer. Samantha Maurice Anna Velchek. Patricia Anika Yorando. Merlin Parody Casey. Yasmin Haji Ayub. Olivia Sargent. Nicholas Ryan Tisdale. Ellie Moore. Philip Lachlan Hazel. Patrick John Noble. Cara Ray Ackerman. Olivia Hampson. Tia Jo Anderson. Hannah Shay Castle. Carla Folger. Emily Lauricella. Jessica Ashley Main. Emma Joy Butcher. Francesca Rose Rees Elder. Nicole Payich Mersel. Brittany Ann Sands. Natasha Eli Garcia Valencia. Amy Kate Lewis. Bridget Ann Osborne. Benjamin Arthur Thornton. Kamal Kang. Emily Rose Brooks. Lydia Funzik.
Vice-Chancellor, we really should have an award for the best support crew here this morning. Someone has the vocal range of Mariah Carey. Congratulations, you've got a big future. We will be continuing with the presentation awards shortly, but I would like to introduce our musical item for today. It's my pleasure to introduce Sandon Groves. Sandon is currently studying his honours in psychology at the University of Wollongong. He is a local musician who has been performing at weddings, venues and events for the last 5 years. Please join me in welcoming Sandon, who is going to perform Put Your Record On. Welcome, Sandon.
Three little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch on the concrete. Maybe sometimes we feel it's wrong, but it's alright. Don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded dreams, I hope you catch your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. Oh, you're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. The sky, sunburned and lonely, sipping tea in a bar by the roadside. Don't you let those other boys fool you. Gotta love that afro hairdo. Maybe sometimes we feel afraid, but it's alright. Don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you catch your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow, just more than I could take. Pity for pity's sake. Some nights kept me awake, I thought I was stronger. When you're gonna realize that you don't even have to try any longer. Do what you want to. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. And girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow.
We will now present the awards for our postgraduate graduates from the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities.
Lily Jade Judd. Kainat Siddiqa Sayed. Titima Malapet. Claudette Cowan. Inam Evelyn Stephanie Jenner. Sharon Ann Magin. Jennifer Orton. Kirsty Marie Reynolds. Monica Tuma. Alexander Edward Twakowski. Amanda Leslie Wyzecki. Philip Oliver James Dewhurst. Charlotte Dunn. Naomi Anupama Karunaratna. Rebecca Adams. Jason Michael Clark. Shalini Sanjana Copland. Rebecca Grace Dark. Tanu Sri Das. Lee Bronwyn Forbes. Khaleesi Gay Gore. Monique Rose Levis. Helen Ann Maloney. Stephanie Louise Murfitt. Megan Ann Naylands. Brittany Marie Pointing. Karen Jane Selleck. Amanda Wildy. Jamal Youssef. Julia May Daly. Whitney Kate Gunn. Janet Helen Hayes. Nathan John Smith. Gagandeep Kaur. Manpreet Kaur. Tayaba Manzoor. Yulia Yanur. Levi Quaresma Dizon. Hugh Lam Yao. Jamie Andrew Gass. Joshua Christopher Martin. Cecilia Mason. Paul Pachulo. J. Rajendra Raval. Kiara Sweeney. Emily Kate Woods. Tyler Nicole Emsley. Sadiq Shaya GC. Teshani Yasmin Agalewate. Sina Leah Crowhurst. Deepkala Chowdhury. Sarojini Pandit. Rabina Sikandar. Kandakar Rafsanur Rahman. Ankor. Miriam Rose Lloyd Hansford. Richie Huda. Rubina Nagarkoti. Kanchan Thapa. Araz Ahmed. Casey D. Bradbury. Richard John Harry. Liam John Marsh. Ben Mayhew. Tammy Marie McKee. Karina Marie Norton. Yolanta Malgorzata Rebus. Nicole Rochelle Nickel. Christopher Hugh Sargent. Chloe Lynette Jackson. Daniel Lawrence O'Connor. Bina Zahaib. Tanvir Abbas.
Deputy Chancellor, I present to you from the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities for the Bachelor of Arts, Tuganaga Isamu. Deputy Chancellor, I present to you from the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities for the Bachelor of Communications and Media, Yik Tung Zhu. It is now with great pleasure that I announce our doctoral award recipients today. Will the graduates who are to be presented with doctoral awards from the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities please stand? Deputy Chancellor, I present to you the doctoral graduates from the Faculty of the Arts, Social Sciences and Humanities who by reason of their thesis and other work at the university have met the requirements for admission to doctoral degrees.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I confirm your admission to the doctoral degree for which you have qualified.
Deputy Chancellor, I present to you for their doctoral degrees, for their study into contemporary art and folkloric practices in Vietnam to tell stories beyond diasporic trauma, Dr. Mai Nguyen Long. For their study of how biographical novelists create authentic voices for protagonists based on historical artists, Dr. Sarah Turnbull. For their study into professional development program for early childhood educators working with families experiencing disadvantage, Dr. Tony Louise Byrne. For their study of understanding adoption and implementation of blended learning in higher education, Dr. Ramiz Ali. For their study into Saudi teachers' attitudes towards the inclusion of students with special needs in regular classes, Dr. Wafa Naif Al-Mutairi. For their study into how school and university staff experienced partnership in Australian and United Kingdom widening participation contexts, Dr. Kylie Suzanne Austin. For their examination into the role of emotional in-water tourism experiences with marine megafauna on Ningaloo Reef in facilitating conservation outcomes, Dr. Freya Elizabeth Croft. For their study into the impact of infrastructure on volunteers, Dr. Lee Robinson. For their study into the practices, experiences and perceptions of households that are off-grid for water in the Eurobodalla Shire on the south coast of New South Wales, Dr. Carrie Lee Wilkinson. For their study into consumer perspectives and policy on food and nutrition labelling in Mongolia, Dr. Niyam Ragcha Chimitsaran. For their examination of the effect of a persistent occupational identity on attempts at occupational change after injury, Dr. Ross William Girdler. For their study into mothers' stories of and practitioners' responses for child-to-parent violence, Dr. Chai Taran Tul Ansi. For their study into the role of cycling in contemporary Australian culture, Dr. Nicholas Oslands. For their study into the occupational health and safety issues in Bangladesh's ready-made garment industry, Dr. Anam Ullah. For their examination of the contradictoriness, complexity and future prospects of Sino-Vietnamese relations, Dr. Yao Yao. For their study of how intentional and unintentional mind-wandering experiences differ in their cognitive, contextual and dispositional associations, Dr. Marianne Louise Barrington. For their examination of safety considerations of the effects of electromagnetic fields on the central nervous system, Dr. Ian Douglas Evans. For their study of the formation of an Indigenous Trinidad and Tobago theatre, Dr. Patrick William Brennan. For their exploration into suicide prevention treatment for young people, evaluating therapeutic factors and addressing individual variability, Dr. Antus Janikowski. For their exploration of the impact of borderline personality disorder on parent-child relationships, Dr. Kayla Rebecca Steele. I will now present the candidate to be admitted as an Emeritus Professor of the University. Will Senior Professor Frank Dean please stand? Deputy Chancellor, I present Senior Professor Frank Dean. Across 26 years of distinguished service to the University of Wollongong, Frank's contribution as a researcher, educator, mentor, advocate and colleague is extraordinary. Frank is a prolific and widely influential clinical psychology researcher and registered psychologist. Dedicated to highly applied, clinically focused research in the areas of mental health and substance dependence, he has pioneered advancements in recovery-oriented, parent-centred treatments. Frank led the Illawarra Institute for Mental Health for 20 years as its director, and throughout his career amassed a diverse portfolio of more than 360 publications, cited over 23,800 times with an H index of 71. Working alongside leading community organisations to build their capacity to respond to complex mental illness, Frank helped to develop the innovative collaborative recovery model of service delivery for people living with severe mental illness, now in clinical use in several Australian states. Frank has thrice received the UOW Vice-Chancellor's Award for Research Partnership. He has been honoured with the National Drug and Alcohol Awards Research Award, multiple Australian and New Zealand Mental Health Service Awards, the Distinguished Career Award of the Australian Association for Cognitive Behavioural Therapy, and many other awards recognising his research excellence and impact. His commitment to helping others meet their potential and Frank's joy in their achievements is exemplary. He is a supportive and insightful colleague and has supervised more than 60 PhD students and over 100 Masters and Honours students. A generous and sought-after mentor to early and mid-career researchers, he was awarded the Australian Psychological Society's Mentoring Award in 2018 in recognition of his valuable contribution to the sector's future. Formally retiring in 2020, Frank remains deeply engaged with the School of Psychology and UOW more broadly as an honorary professor. He continues to supervise HDR students and mentor early and mid-career researchers, participate in collaborative research projects, and publish prolifically. He also remains a member of Self-Management and Recovery Training, SMART, Australia. Deputy Chancellor, through his academic leadership and educational excellence, Senior Professor Frank Dean has made an immense and enduring contribution to our institution, its communities, and the lives of people impacted by mental illness. It is a privilege to present Senior Professor Frank Dean to be admitted as an Emeritus Professor of the University of Wollongong.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I admit you as Emeritus Professor of the University of Wollongong. Congratulations.
I would like to introduce Professor Patricia Davidson, Vice-Chancellor and President, to present our honorary award recipients to the Deputy Chancellor.
Thank you, Professor Caro. I would like to now present the candidate for the degree of Letters Honoris Causa. Will Auntie Joyce Donovan please stand? Deputy Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present Auntie Joyce Donovan to you for admission to the degree of Doctor of Letters Honoris Causa. For over 55 years, Auntie Joyce has worked tirelessly to advance healthcare, education, human rights and social justice for First Australian people and foster reconciliation and inclusivity. A proud Wadi Wadi and Dharawal elder, Auntie Joyce is a respected cultural knowledge holder and cultural mentor and a strong advocate of empowerment through voice. Born on the Aboriginal mission in La Perouse, Sydney, she didn't attend high school but later actively sought educational opportunities, completing a diploma in Aboriginal Studies and Health Sciences at Cumberland College to become an enrolled nurse in 1992. Auntie Joyce spent over 3 decades as an Indigenous nurse and Aboriginal health education advocate throughout the Illawarra and Shoalhaven local health district. She has contributed greatly to advancing Aboriginal healthcare, including developing the innovative Narinya Grief and Trauma Healing Program to transform approaches to grief and intergenerational trauma. Driven to break the silence around child sexual abuse and aid victims and communities to heal, she led a movement uniting thousands of Indigenous and non-Indigenous people to raise their voice and seek change. She remains a central figure for communities as they seek support, healing, and safe spaces. Auntie Joyce has been widely recognised for her exceptional dedication and impact. She was named New South Wales Local Health Hero in the 2008 Australian of the Year Awards, was a finalist for the Aboriginal Woman of the Year in 2017, and received a University of Technology Sydney Reconciliation Human Rights Award in 2007. A survivor of abuse, Auntie Joyce is a passionate believer in the power of education to break the cycle of poverty and plays a critical role in strengthening our relationship with our First Nations communities. She has worked with hundreds of local high school students, teaching them cultural knowledge, led workshop, and welcomed staff and visitors to country. She also provides cultural support here at the University of Wollongong. She is a key member of our Community Reference Engagement Group, and is a prominent community champion for our Woollyunga Indigenous Centre. And she always encourages individuals to see the University of Wollongong as a safe place to work and study. Deputy Chancellor, Auntie Joyce Donovan continues to demonstrate a lifelong commitment to empowering First Nations Australians and the wider community to create a better, more equitable future for all. It is my great privilege to present Auntie Joyce Donovan for a Doctor of Letters honours causa.
In the name of the Council, and by my authority as Deputy Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, at the University of Wollongong. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
I'm not sure that you get to sit down quite yet, Auntie Joyce. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Auntie Joyce Donovan to give today's occasional address. Auntie Joyce Donovan.
I would like to pay my respect and love to my parents, brothers and sisters, mentors, elders and family members who are all in the spirit world But I know that they would all be here today. They'd be so proud and happy. They'd be all here on this stage. Happy knowing that many of their teachings are happening here in Wollongong. Being a voice for the voiceless, giving a hand up, sharing knowledge, advocating for others, and passing on culture, and doing our best, but never ever blowing our own trumpet, to mention just a few of our elders' teachings. I would like to pay my respect to all elders, past and present, here today, all graduates, families and friends who have come together for this joyous occasion. My utmost respect and thankfulness to Professor Patricia Davison at the University Council and the Council at the University of Wollongong. When I received this call from Trish, I was speechless and overcome with emotion. But I believe I was given a new lease on life, and I haven't sat still since. Thank you so much for giving me that new lease on life, Trish. I may be calling on you quite often, actually, to resusc me again. I'd also like to give my respects, of course, and my love to my families here, and to also the didge players, the dancers, the smokers, who I was good until I got on the stage and heard just playing, and then I needed tissues. So thank you very much for being part of my healing. When I received that call, and I think I've already spoke a bit about that, about Trish and how thankful I am. I am so humbled and proud to receive this award, especially in the area of social justice and human rights. This award belongs to so many people, and I'm so happy and honoured to share with everybody this award. When I got this award, my mind wandered back to when I was about 14 at La Perouse, back to my youth and my mother, who used to say, "We only look in the domestic service and the cleaning of houses, Joycey, and process workers section for jobs." At 14, I had a job in a shirt factory in Kingsford with many other Aboriginal girls, and my mother would show off about my role in making shirts. It didn't matter that I only cut the cottons off the ends of the shirt. I was not a machinist. I never ever sat at a machine, but she continued to show off. So I know how she'd be here today in spirit. When I applied for records that were kept on Aboriginal people and removed children, when I received them, it was stated on my records that I was coloured and not too bright. And this was very common for Aboriginal children that were removed. My respect and admiration to Jamie Beveridge and her incredible team at Wollongong. And thank you so much for nominating me. And a big special thank you to Tammy Small, who's right here in the front with my family, for blowing my trumpet. Thank you very much, Tammy. Wollongong are a part of my extended family, and it has been an honour and a privilege working with you at Wollongong. Jamie, your staff, who continually, motivate and inspire me to contribute any way I can. Your passion, sincere commitment to all students as they are guided and nurtured here on campus. This is the most important journey of their lives. It is almost tangible. I am so proud to be a small part alongside Wollongong and Wollongong, academically, culturally, physically and spiritually, for they are all the leaders of tomorrow. No high school education, not much education at all. I am the first in my family, my siblings, my mother's people, to attend TAFE, not alone, universities. I went to TAFE at 38 and learned to read and write properly. UTS University and many places of learning. Education has been a strong part of my healing, and it's given me empowerment, strong esteem, self-esteem. It's given me independence and self-worth. I would like to shout out to everybody, reach for the stars. And you know, age is not a barrier. I'm 77. So please, if I can do it, you can too. I still have lots to do in leaving a positive footprint and sharing knowledge, sharing 40 years of research, culture and healing as a resource for all students. Finally, I would like to dedicate this award to the strong maternal women and families who have overcome many obstacles throughout their lives. My mother, Liz Butler Lulin, my great-grand Agnes Gilbert Malone, who survived Ramenyak Mission, her parents buried at Lake Tyers, her family siblings, the Gilberts and the Thorpes, still fighting the battles, my family, of course, and my community who have always been there for me. Last, but by no means least, the girls from Parramatta Girls' Home who haven't made it. We will always walk together in spirit. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Auntie Joyce. That was really inspirational. I'd now like to call on Richard Harry to give the vote of thanks. Richard completed a Master of Social Work in 2022. Prior to this, he worked for 10 years in mental health services within the community sector. Since graduating, he has continued his career in this space within government mental health services. He is a passionate advocate for grassroots, consumer-driven, recovery-oriented approaches to mental health service provision. Please welcome Richard.
Deputy Chancellor, members of the University, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, family and friends. I'd like to pay my respect to and acknowledge the traditional custodians of Dharawal country, the land on which we meet. I'd also like to pay my respects to elders past, present and those emerging, and to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people present here today. I'd like to thank today's guest speaker, Auntie Joyce Donovan, for her speech. I resonated strongly with her thoughts and messages relating to the sharing of culture and knowledge and the importance of a strong commitment to this. It's a privilege to speak on behalf of those graduating today, on this day of great joy, possibility and reflection. I want to acknowledge firstly that the achievements we're celebrating together today have depended on and been built upon the care, support, love, sacrifice and generosity of others, including family, partners, friends and classmates, as well as teaching and non-teaching staff across the university. Where possible, I'd like to invite my fellow graduates to stand, face the audience and join with me in offering these people a round of applause. I also want to recognise that in reaching this point in our academic and life journeys, we've all navigated a variety of obstacles and life challenges of different kinds, and acknowledge the determination required by each of us to persist in the face of these. I feel incredibly fortunate to have had the opportunity to undertake postgraduate study at the university over the last 3 years. I chose to study a Master of Social Work to better be able to walk alongside individuals and groups who face disadvantage, marginalisation and other forms of suffering. This degree has helped me to reflect on how to use my skills to challenge unjust systems, advocate for change, and stand by those needing social support during difficult points in their lives. I'm sure I speak for many of you in saying I feel incredibly grateful for the high-quality educational experience I've had the opportunity to undertake with UOW. I'd particularly like to thank and acknowledge the passion and commitment of the social sciences and humanities teaching staff. I know certainly in social work, the teaching staff's guidance and learning to see and think reflectively and critically and to challenge the status quo has been a significant gift for me. As is all too evident, we face many incredibly complex social, human, and environmental challenges at this present time. As arts, social sciences, and humanities graduates, we're uniquely equipped with tools and ways of seeing and thinking which are invaluable in navigating and responding to these challenges. These disciplines offer us a rich, multifaceted understanding of the human experience, society and institutions, and an ability to engage critically, imaginatively, and compassionately with complexity in the world. Of course, with these gifts comes also the responsibility to, where possible, bring what we've learned and who we've become to meet and tend to the challenges and distress of the world, locally and globally. So, fellow graduates, may you listen carefully to your own calling for what it is the world needs of you next, and bring your own talents and gifts to meet this call. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Graduates, families, friends and colleagues, we are coming to the close of our ceremony today. We now wish to share with you our graduation video. We hope this video will encourage you all to reflect on the infinite moments that have led to where each of us is today.
Everything we've done has led towards today. But graduation seems singular. After all, it's one day, one degree, one end and one beginning. Think about it this way though. If we divide today by 4 years,
or 5 years,
or 3 years, or 8 years,
the equation becomes clearer. Because today isn't just an event or a graduation or a moment of change. It's what we've created through 24 subjects.
11 all-nighters.
357 books read.
54 5,000-word essays.
40 monologues critiqued.
154 films watched.
And 4 films made. Let's be real though. Our experience is way bigger than just the classroom. You've got to factor in
665 hypotheses,
6 heated dramas,
2 semesters abroad, 5 new cultures experienced,
12 concerts attended,
843 waves ridden,
169 hours lounging around,
17 dance parties,
2 major heartbreaks,
and more lifelong friendships than we can count.
When we take those experiences, the long days, late nights and early mornings into the equation, we realise that graduation at the University of Wollongong isn't just some singular thing.
That it's a transition from finding our purpose
to changing our world with the purpose we found.
That our passport to the future has been stamped
with the mark of a globally respected education.
And most importantly, we realise the moments that led up to this are
a tapestry,
a symphony,
an equation,
a 65,000-year-old history.
We realise that though today is a single moment, graduation is much bigger than any one day. Because, like an algorithm made up of bits of code,
or a building built from many bricks,
or a community built from many different people, today is the result of our
experiments,
experiences,
tests,
trials,
and victories.
So that's what we celebrate today. Not the cap, not the gown, but the infinite number of moments we shared at the University of Wollongong.
Before we close, can I please ask our graduates to remain seated while the rest of the audience stands? Please join me in congratulating our graduates by giving them a warm round of applause or raising the roof with whatever sounds you want to make.
I'd like to warmly thank the students and staff who volunteered their time today to assist with the celebration. We feel incredibly proud to celebrate our graduates here today. We would like to invite all of you to join us under the marquee outside for light refreshments and to congratulate our graduates. Our mace bearer will lead the academic procession, followed by the graduates and then our VIPs. Guests, please be patient and remain in your seats as the ushers will be giving you instructions on exiting the venue. Please take direction from our ushers as you will be exiting row by row. Congratulations once again to our graduates. I now declare this ceremony closed.